Hey guys, Gabe here. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about um, the connection with God I'm having more so recently. I mentioned it in a couple videos, just a little bit of like, um, having that deep inner connection with God within, and how it's like led me to a deeper understanding of my life purpose and my connection with God. And something that has come up for me is that it has really felt like, for me personally, that my whole life is like this, like these soundtracks, these albums that I've been listening to off and on my whole life, at least since I was a teenager. And since I'm basically going through puberty again, it feels very fitting that I'm basically going back to all those songs and like seeing how my life is like kind of matching up to that. It's so weird, but yeah, I think it's like the main lesson that I'm getting here is that like God is with you like always, like, and I get so emotional when I feel about this, but like God is with you always. Like, I thought for the longest time that like I couldn't really connect with God, and like it was literally like a point of contention for me, especially for the last like couple months. I was just like, I can't connect with God. I don't know what God is telling me to do. And it was just like this terrible, like annoying thing. Like, of course I could connect with God. But like there's just part of me that like just wasn't seeing it. And what I'm realizing is that like I was kind of suppressing myself. Like, I've had a pattern in relationships of just like completely conforming to what the other person wants me to be. And that's not what you do in a twin flame relationship. You like are 100% yourself, and that's how like the relationship works. You don't mold yourself to be for the other person. You are 100% yourself, and that is enough. And I think that's what was happening with me, is that I was like suppressing parts of myself because I was like trying to conform to this idea of what I needed to be or had to be. And there was an element of like, I just needed to shut up and listen, because there's a lot of things that I don't know and didn't realize about myself that now I'm like, oh shit, that is something that I like, or that is something that I want to do. But you don't know until you know, and everyone has their own like perfect process. And I just wanted to say that like it's okay to be where you're at on this journey. It's okay to be where you're at in your connection with God, and your connection with yourself, and your connection with the divine. And like it seems counterintuitive to focus on yourself and focus on God when you're on your twin flame journey. You're like, well, how can I be with them if I'm not focused on them? Like, if I take my mind off of them for a second, then won't I just lose them? But no, like that's not how it works. Like, you make a choice, and then like if you find along the way you've made a different choice, then you can just make a different choice. But it's not like if you take your mind or your thoughts off of your twin flame for a little bit, you focus on something else. You focus on your job, your career, your self-care, anything like that. If you take your mind off them for a little bit, it doesn't mean that you don't want to be with them. It just means that like you're focusing on the right thing now, because actually focusing on them, pursuing them, is not the way. It's like I said, it's counterintuitive, but focusing on them is kind of like what repels them, right? Because like you're looking to them to fulfill some kind of need within you. And when you put the focus back on yourself, put your focus back on the divine, you're given clear and guided steps on what to do. I hear a lot of people that say like, well, if I don't have to do anything outside of me, then how will I know, like, how will we ever reach out or whatever? And God gives you those steps. You know, like, it'll be a very, like, clear, like, this intuitive thing of, like, you know, maybe it's time to say something. Maybe it's time to do something. And you take charge in that way. You, like, you follow God's guided steps. It's not something that, like, arises from outside of you, like somebody tells you to do it, but it's something of, like, you already knew that you should do this, and maybe you get a confirmation from outside of you, but it's like, oh, shit, this is something I should do, and it feels peaceful. It doesn't feel like you're forcing yourself. It doesn't feel like, you know, maybe you're a little nervous to say something, but you work through that with the mirror exercise. You help yourself, like, you know, process those feelings, and then you move forward. And sometimes it comes down to just your hesitation rather than an actual, like, block to doing it. Like, this is true with your life purpose, but it's like ego will tell you anything to say that you're not ready to do something. It'll tell you you're not ready for a relationship. It'll tell you you're not ready for your dream life. You're not ready for all these things. And you can be honest with yourself if you're not ready for that yet. But be discerning, because is it you're not ready for it because you're scared, or is it because you're not ready because you're just not ready to sustain that yet? And wherever you are, that's okay. Like, if you're just scared and you're not ready to take that step, like, you'll get continual chances to take that step to, like, be in your union, be in your harmonious union. And something that I just read from one of Jeff's classes, Michaela posted it in the Twin Flames Universe Open Forum. If you're not there, you should be. You know, about how, you know, you don't come into union or harmonious union unless you're ready for a relationship. And so you can trust that, like, the divine, like, knows when you're ready, that God knows when you're ready, and that those things will unfold naturally, and it won't be a forced thing. You may have to take an uncomfortable step. You may have to let go of your ego. You may have to let go of expectations of how you think things should go. But as long as you're moving with God, as long as you're moving with peace in that flow, things will turn out for the best. Like, and it may look messy, because sometimes it does on this journey. Sometimes on the outside it looks really bad, but that's because the world has these, like, ideas of what things should look like, and sometimes things have to crumble before they come back together in the perfect way. And yeah, like, that's something that I'm, like, learning a little bit more about too, is just, like, you know, I see how perfect, like, things are. Like, even if things look really bad on the outside, I've seen that, like, there's just, like, so much compassion and opportunities for healing that God provides you. And it may not look the way, like, someone else would do it, but the way that, you know, you need for your healing is fine for you. That perfect, like, way of moving through things is, you know, going to be the way that you move through things with God. And some people need more contrast than others to, like, realize, like, you know, this is not exactly what I wanted, or yeah, this is what I wanted, or maybe, like, you know, you need to experience something that you don't quite like, or maybe you need to pay off some karma before you do XYZ. And that's okay. Like, you humble yourself, you go where God calls, and you keep going. And, you know, that's where I'm at right now, is, like, you know, I, like, it's like a little bit like Sisyphus, right? You roll the boulder up the hill, and then it rolls back down, and you keep doing it again and again. But unlike Sisyphus, and if that's not his name, like, somebody let me know. But, you know, you roll the boulder up the hill, and as you, like, achieve certain spiritual, like, lessons, you, like, move forward keeping that lesson in mind. And another, like, but you have to maintain it. You have to maintain that. Or another thing that, like, my coach he like put in the forum is there's like this, you know, octopus on your head that's like the ego octopus of like, you know, it tells you all these things that are like bad about you and like tries to get you to do things that aren't actually good for you. And you know, you have to like continually work to keep that off your head. And for me, I had a big aversion to play, and I'm still working on this. It's very hard for me to like relax and like rest without feeling very like guilty about it. Like, I'm naturally like a hard worker, but then I feel like I'm not. Then I compare myself to others, or you know, whatever comes up for me at that time, where I say like I don't feel good about doing this, and then I feel bad about myself, and it's just like this vicious cycle, this stupid octopus that tells me to keep being hard on myself. And you know, this is something that has been continually drilled into me, is like, take it easy, go at your own pace, like be compassionate with yourself, have fun, give to yourself. And that's so very important. Like and it's like you don't just like continually to work harder to try to get what you want. You surrender, and there has to be balance. If you're like continually just giving everything you have, and you don't fill yourself up, then you can't give to anyone else. And that's like the pattern that I kept falling into, is like I wasn't like replenishing myself. I was like, I'd watch a movie, but I'd be still on my phone, or I would like play games, but I would be like somewhere else mentally. And like, it's like being present with where you are, valuing the balance of life, valuing the balance of play, and like understanding that like there's just a flow that you need to like fall into. And it doesn't matter if you know, it doesn't matter if you like, you know, work 20 hours, if you're not in the flow with God, and you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to like leak all your energy and feel bad. And trust me, it does feel bad to do that. Like, I'm naturally a very like chill dude. I can work really hard, but I also like to just relax and chill and have fun and sing and write and, you know, go to the beach and do all those things. Like, it's something that's very important to me to like, especially spend time outdoors. Like, it's such a godsend to even have this balcony. I'm so grateful for it, because I can just like sit outside and not like, you know, worry about anyone approaching me. But yeah, like, it's like, I guess what I wanted to say is just like your flow, the way that you were designed is perfect for you. Some people are designed to work really fucking hard. Like, Chrissy, if you don't know her, she's fucking amazing. Chrissy Emmerich, she is president of the COU Unionism, and MAP, CEO and Lieutenant Colonel. Like, she's fucking amazing. And like, her soul design is just to fucking work. Like, work. And I'm finding that my soul design is a little bit more relaxed. And like my, it's like I can move through my stuff, but I have to do it at a more like chill pace. And like, someone I think it was Jeff that told me I was more like a skateboard yogi. And there is that like vibe of just like very chill, very relaxed. And I think that's why I gravitated to California so much, not just because of like the music industry, the entertainment and all of that, but because of just like the overall like laid back quality of it. And maybe there needs to be more balance there too, but there is an element of just like, I need to chill. I need to be able to like take time to focus. God was reminding me earlier of like this one time, and I know I'm going on, guys, so thank you for bearing with me. I just wanted to share. There was one time that I like up and quit a job. Like, it was such a toxic environment, and I was just like, fuck this. I have done so much work for this company. They don't appreciate me. every time I try to make changes, they don't like receive them. And of course, like I didn't have the mirror exercise at this time, so I was projecting some, and like some of it was just not feeling good in that environment. But then I just quit. I was like, I value myself too much to stay here a moment longer. I don't care if I don't have a job lined up. I'm just gonna quit. And I did, and it was the best thing that I ever did for myself. Not the best thing, but at the time it was the best thing I'd ever done for myself, was just to quit. And even though I didn't know what was gonna happen, I didn't know like if I was gonna find a job in the next couple months, I just knew that like I could find a job. I knew that I would be okay, and I just trusted. And that was me like trusting God without knowing that I was trusting God. I just trusted myself. I trusted the universe. I trusted in like the quality of me and my work. And like that's something that you need to cultivate within yourself, is that trust in the universe, trust in yourself, trust that the path that you're going is what's right for you. And don't be afraid to look at yourself honestly and say like, well, maybe some of these things I do need to change, and maybe I did make a mistake, and forgive yourself for that. That's okay. Like there's a lot of mistakes I've made, and I'm just like, okay, love myself, still learning. And that's the appropriate attitude. It's never appropriate, like Jeff and Shaleia say, like in their book, it's just like, it's never appropriate to beat yourself up for, coming across the same upset that you think you've healed, or it's never appropriate to feel bad. You never have to feel bad about anything. And you're not a bad person. Even if you've done all these things that seem bad, you're not a bad person. You're just working through your blocks. And if you're choosing to move through your upsets, you're choosing to move through your blocks, you're making progress, and you're going to do well on this journey. Just don't give up on yourself. So yeah, that feels complete. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. If you want your own personal reading, or you'd like to work with me one-on-one as a coach, you can find my services at sacredtwinflameunion.com. There's some really exciting stuff gonna be happening with the website in a couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys too. So stay on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.